Week 4 is here. Jaguars versus Eagles. Doug Peterson's return back to Philadelphia. I'll tell you what, this kind of has a little like a playoff vibe, especially coming from a lot of Jags fans. I know I feel this way as well. I'm excited about this game. I think it's going to be a tremendous game. I think either be low scoring, high scoring. We have two good defenses, two good offenses right now. And for the Jaguars, this is a big test. I mean, we went out there to LA last week, whooped up on the Chargers 38-10, and now we have a chance to play arguably the best team in the NFL. They're easily, in my opinion, the best team in the NFC, but they can be considered the best team in football right now. So big test for the Jaguars, and also I think it could be a big test for the Eagles as well. Going up against our offense and our defense, and this might be their biggest test potentially maybe until November or December when they play the Cowboys, when the Cowboys are healthy, as well as when they play the Packers. So I think it's a big game for both teams, as well as obviously the big storyline, Doug Peterson returning back to Philadelphia. I definitely have a feeling he'll get a standing ovation, which obviously he deserves for getting a Super Bowl there for Philadelphia, the first ever Super Bowl title. But all right, let's go ahead and jump right into this game preview. Let's go over the injury report for the Jaguars. Chason is out, as well as Cole Van Lane. He is out as well. There are two of our backups, Chason linebacker, Cole Van guard position. So nothing, too concerning there. But Shaquille Griffin, also Zay Jones are both questionable. Griffin didn't play last week. He was limited in practice this week. And then Zay Jones did not practice on Thursday. He kind of showed up randomly on Thursday on the injury report and then limited practice Friday. So hopefully Zay Jones can definitely give it a go. I have a feeling Griffin and Jones will definitely play. That's just my opinion. And then for the Eagles, they have kind of a lengthy report, but they only have two players out, and that is backup running back Boston Scott, and then kind of a big name in my opinion, Avonte Maddox, who is their the third corner, their nickel corner, and he is a very good slot guy. He does a good job covering the slot wide receivers. He's playing at a very, very high level right now, and he is I definitely think it's going to be a huge loss for the Eagles. So we'll see if the Jaguars can take advantage of that. Obviously, Christian Kirk they love lining Christian Kirk up in the slot. So we'll see if maybe Slay or Bradbury shadow him, or if they bring down their safety CJ down there to cover him. So we'll see what the Eagles' plan is for when Kirk is in the slots. If Zay Jones can't go, I assume we're going to be seeing a lot more of Tim Jones or Jamal Agnew in that spot. I don't think you want to move Christian Kirk to the outside because Christian Kirk is just so effective in the slot. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what the Jags and the Eagles both do. Now, some interesting matchups I'm kind of like looking forward to, and that is for our defense versus their offense, is how is our defensive line going to go against their offensive line? They have one of the best offensive lines in football. Actually, even vice versa, their defense line going against our offensive line. Our offensive line has only allowed 2 sacks. That was week 1 against Washington. Did a good job against the Colts. Good job last week against the Chargers. And they have Fletcher Cox. They have Brandon Graham. They have Jordan Davis. They have a lot of big guys up front right there that can definitely disrupt that line of scrimmage and get to the quarterback, cause pressure. They had 9 sacks last week. So offense line for the Jags definitely need to be on their A game. But we'll see how the Eagles offense line holds up against our pass rush. We only have, I think, 7, 8, 9 sacks in the year, something like that. But we are getting a lot of pressure, especially Josh Allen. He is not leading, but he's up there with some of the most pressure throughout the whole season in the NFL. And then as well as Walker is doing really good at getting pressure as well. So definitely going to be a battle of the trenches. That's where I think this game potentially could be won and lost. And as well as another matchup to look forward to is Tyson Campbell versus A.J. Brown. Tyson Campbell is really good at, he stays with the wide receivers. He has a hard time sometimes playing the ball, but he's always, he not travels very well, but when it comes to covering his cover skills, he is very good at sticking to the wide receiver. Just like I said, sometimes has a hard time turning his head and playing the ball, but still he's always there to try to make at least try to make a play potentially. So it's definitely going to be a good battle, as well as, they have a lot of weapons. Like I've already said AJ Brown, but you have Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and you can't forget Quez Watkins. So they have a lot of good weapons there with the Eagles as well. Jalen Hurts not only throwing the ball, running the ball as well. It's very hard to tackle. He's just very good when it comes to escaping the pocket and pressure. So, he's playing potentially at MVP level. He's a really good quarterback right now, and you can definitely see the progression he's done throughout this year compared to last year. So he's doing a good job. The whole coaching staff over there with Eagles are doing a good job. And as well as, they have a pretty good running game with Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell. They kind of all rotate a little bit, even though Miles Sanders is the starting running back. But for the Jaguars, I mean, I'm looking forward to our offense going against their defense, especially our wide receivers going against their secondary, especially, Slay and Bradbury, two good corners, arguably the best corner tandem in the whole NFL right now. So I think it's going to be a tough battle for our wide receivers, but I think they can handle it. Zay Jones has been doing a good job getting open. The coaching staff has put a good game plan when it comes to trying to get Zay Jones involved, especially Christian Kirk. Marvin Jones had a very good game last week, and we're utilizing our tight ends with Evan Ingram quite a bit, which is really good. We haven't seen that in quite some time. And, Doug Peterson, he comes in here, brings his, obviously, his offensive mind, and, he utilizes tight ends quite a bit. So hopefully maybe we can get Evan Ingram a little bit more involved. But I think also you can try this might be a Travis Etienne game, especially when it comes to the passing game, especially I believe the weather is, as of right now, like maybe 80, 90% chance rain, cold, like 58, 59, as well as like 15 to 20 mile per hour winds. So probably not a lot of passing, maybe a little dump offs to Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, or even Travis Etienne screen game. But James Robinson going against that defense line, the Seafer offense line can open some holes for him. James Robinson having a fantastic year coming back from the injury that he sustained last season against the Jets. But the weather could play a factor. I mean, we're the number one ranked defense when it comes to stopping the run. They're very good at running the ball with Miles Sanders as well. Jalen Hurts very good at running the ball. So like I talked about earlier, just, the trenches, I think, is how this game is going to be won. Both sides, offense and defense. And then I'm, excited to see how Trevor Lawrence goes against this defense as a whole. And I believe they run zone a lot too, which Trevor Lawrence plays, in my opinion, plays his best in zone. And then when it comes to our defense, Todd Bowles, that's the defense we run is that Todd Bowles defense from Tampa, because of our defensive coordinator. And last year during the playoff game, and I believe it was either Monday night or Thursday night, they had success against the Eagles running the type of defense that we have. So we might have a slight advantage there, but this is just a big game for the Jaguars and the Eagles all around. I'm not really going to be doing a score prediction on this one, just because I think the Jaguars can definitely win this game, but I also know the Eagles can definitely win this game. And kind of like how I said in the beginning of the game, I think this could be a low scoring game due to the weather potentially, if it is raining heavily, as well as, the wet grass, wet field, and as well as the wind, that could definitely play a big factor. Or potentially this could just be a high scoring game. Two, efficient offenses, two of the best offenses in the league. Jags, I think, are ranked 7th, and Eagles are definitely top 5. So teams that can definitely, push the ball downfield, they can score quick, score touchdowns. Hopefully the Jaguars, one thing I really hope they can improve on, and that is every time we get in the red zone, we do kind of like stutter a little bit. We kind of like settle for field goals. Hopefully we can turn some of those field goals into touchdowns. Ideally, that's what I would like to see from this game, or, at least going forward. But I guess the main keys to this to the victory for the Jaguars, established run game. I think you make the Eagles one-dimensional, either when it comes to stopping their pass or stopping the run. I think the Jaguars are going to focus more on stopping the run, due to the fact they are really good at stopping the run, number one run defense in the NFL. So try to make the Eagles one-dimensional. And then as well, I've talked about this multiple times already in this video, which is this game is definitely going to be won in the trenches, in my opinion, offense and defensive line. It's some of the best defensive line, some of the best offensive lines. I think it's going to be a great game, and I'm excited for this. Definitely has kind of a playoff vibe, especially around Jacksonville. We have potential to go 3-1, playing arguably the best team in football right now, at least maybe the second or third best team. So if we come out with a win, we have a lot more momentum. That's 3 straight wins against pretty good opponents. The Colts obviously were at one point favored to win the AFC South. Chargers, who a lot of people had going to the Super Bowl for the AFC, or at least making a deep run in the playoffs. Then the Eagles right now, arguably the best team in the NFL. So if we can win this game and go to 3-1, it's huge momentum. And, it's just one game at a time, something the Jaguars, preach in that locker room, and the players definitely bought into that. And you can tell this team is just ready to play. And I'm just once again hoping for a great game. Go ahead and leave your comments below what you think your score prediction is going to be. Who do you think is going to win, Jags or Eagles? And what matchup are you looking forward to most in this game? But thanks for watching. Go Jags.